All right, we're live.
It's great.
We
We're
did
here.
it.
Yes.
Hello.
All the normal people are here. All three of us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep. Usual
it's
crew.
me.
Yep.
Nathan.
John's back. How's it going, John?
Well, it's yeah. I'm trying to think like Jonathan, and then you get the latter half. So, but
Okay.
names.
You're Voltroning it up. You're the bottom.
Yeah.
I
He
shouldn't
definitely is the bottom. That's true.
Oh,
Yes, Nathan's here. Nathan, thanks for filling a gap.
thank you.
John's going down to LA. I don't know if he said why I'm not gonna go into that like
That's
publicly.
a good point.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about it, and I don't remember him tweeting. And I know very well what he tweets because the TDP Twitter account
Mhm.
doesn't follow enough people to just leave me alone. So it like gives me a notification every time he tweets.
Yeah. No, he tweeted. He is gone for Indieland 2020 with Gerard. He did tweet that. He said, "I'm out for a week or whatever," and then linked it. So yes, that's where he is. He's in LA right now doing that.
Wasn't he truly verified before it became meaningless?
I don't believe he is verified.
Oh,
Well, did he lose it?
Or was it the
Was
real
he?
guys? I don't know.
Man.
I'm
Runaway
looking at his
guys?
Twitter right now, and he is currently not. But he also changed his Twitter name to Proton John without the SA.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if that
okay.
did something.
I know you're not supposed to change anything right now because it screws stuff up.
Sure.
But also, like, who cares?
I'm waiting for this site to die. I'm kind of loving it, honestly. I've hated Twitter for the last at least year. It's become just absolute cancer to read.
I mean, I quit for many years. I only started again because we have a new cast.
Krasnor doesn't exist anymore. I
think I could have reactivated it, but I just was like, whatever.
Well, actually, I was going to ask you this offline, but you know what? Let's do it live. Krasnor does exist because I wanted to look something up to see if you still had it. And it is currently following some really weird German people and Elon Musk. So
no,
I'm guessing that
me.
is not you. Okay.
Someone snagged it and jumped in
Is it
there.
still a picture of me with a cowboy hat on, though?
No, there's no pic. It's nothing. It's like a default profile now, but there's a lot of German people it's following right now and Elon Musk.
Okay.
I mean, Twitter brings a lot of value to my life.
Sure.
But I am also here to kind of like it's an end of an MMO is happening right now.
Sure.
Where everyone's just like partying, going nuts, and it's like, all right, I'm gonna sync with the ship. Let's just see what happens. This is funny. The memes are pretty funny. Like
the meteor's like already breached the atmosphere, and everybody's just kind of having the giant orgy before everything goes black.
Yeah. It is definitely interesting. How's your guys' week been? What's new with you, Paul?
This has been the busiest week I've ever had at work. For reasons obviously nobody wants to hear about, but I've took too much on and finished it, so I feel real good because it's done. But holy shit, I'm never doing that again.
Okay, all right. Nathan,
this week's been scary drives across town to help my grandma shovel snow, but I don't have winter tires on yet. So it's like I got to choose the slowest route and be really lame So I booked the appointment too late this year. I waited too long. I saw the first snow and was like, no, that's the fake snow. And then I was wrong. I was like, no, it's real. You should have phoned. So
okay. So you do have the appointment coming though. This wasn't just like a decision
it's booked. Yeah, it's this month, but it's the very end of the month. So I just trying not to go places, but I agreed to help my grandma with her
just do it yourself.
Just what?
Are they on rims?
Like switch the tires out? They are not on rims.
That's okay. Yeah. That's the problem. Yeah.
I don't even know what that means. I could not change a tire to save my life.
Okay. Remind me Monday. I might have somebody that could do it for you.
I think I kind of shook hands with the dealership as like an ongoing thing, so I don't want to violate that, or I won't get free oil changes. with strings attached.
What is air quotes around oil? Is that what the kids are calling it
I
these
need
days?
to keep my maintenance menu clear of stuff to continue getting these free things.
I gotta click the explicit tag on this episode. What
Yeah,
are
no
we doing
kidding.
here?
Talking about being a bottom and all these like weird oil changes. And...
Sorry, yeah, I forget.
It's free
This is a PG-13 show.
under the table oil changes from the mechanic. Man,
we bought our car at a dealership and kind of shook hands with, you know,
the devil
dark
apparently.
Forces.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I like the car itself. It's just the kind of strings attached. But
sure.
Oh well. For now, I can't accept such gracious offers. I apologize. But I'll just
fuck you then.
Drive careful. Yeah.
Yeah, just be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully it won't snow for a while, and I just don't need to worry about it.
Or at least the way it did on like Monday or whatever, because that was just brutal.
It was pretty serious. Yeah.
This last week I went to a Day of the Devs here in San Francisco, a local game convention.
Is it like Double Fine began it or something, or
yeah,
what's
Double Fine and I Am 8-Bit? They put it on, so like open. It's like super like casual, but so it's not even like not like an opening keynote, but like Tim Schafer did come up on stage and say like, "Hey, welcome to our show. You know, we have food trucks. We got like 80 games here," and so that was just cool. It's like, "Hey, Tim Schafer's right there." Played a lot of cool games. You know, I saw some industry friends. This was like the first show where like PR people, one PR person, like recognized me from a different show.
Oh,
that was just like very self-fulfilling of like, holy shit, this guy knows my name. And I was like chatting for a bit, and all I could think was like, I totally forget your name. But it didn't come up, thank God.
Nice.
And he has since emailed me, so now I do know his name. And I have to keep it. It's hard. You meet so many people at these things, man. But one of the really cool parts on the stage, because they had people playing music, Danny Baranowski was up there doing a live DJ set of the Crypt of the Necrodancer soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
That was very enjoyable to watch, because I didn't really know what was happening. I was just like playing a game, and I was like, this music is pretty good. Yeah, this is the Crypt of the Necro. Holy shit! He's right there. I'm gonna take a quick video. This is awesome. A lot of people were pretty excited for that. So that was a cool event. Yeah, would recommend it if you're in the San Francisco area. It's free to the public, so why not?
Oh, was it more than one? Or is it like just day of the devs? So it's a day event.
A day. It's only like 3 hours long. It's pretty short.
Oh, okay.
But they had like 80 different stations, so there was quite a bit of games there. But so it was fun. With that, let's just do the show. This is the top-down perspective for November 10th. I'm Sean Booker.
I'm Paul Fleck.
I'm Nathan Rohr.
Ooh,
I used to be on here more often, but I can't do it the way I used to. I'm sorry. But every now and then I play games, and I had a few this week. So
yeah, perfect. Nathan, start us off. What have you been playing?
All right. So how do you do? Well, okay. I started playing with my VR headset again, mostly because I was enjoying the new Rick and Morty episodes, and I remembered I had never finished that game, Virtual Rick-ality.
Oh, okay.
Do you recall? Yeah. Okay. So I loaded that up and finished it in one session. Like, it's way shorter than I remembered.
What's that new one from Justin Roiland? Isn't there another
the
VR
one coming
one?
out in December? Oh, no.
Is
well,
that
there's like the Trover Saves the Universe one from a couple years later.
Yeah, you're thinking Trover.
Oh no, there's a new one that has good. there was
guns
with the gun.
Guns?
It was like a really annoying gun.
That's in December. That comes out.
Which one's that one?
That is High on Life.
Yes. Okay. High on Life.
Is that VR though? Like it's still a VR
not
shooter?
I don't know, but as far as I know, it's just a first-person shooter.
Maybe I'm mistaken.
Okay. But yeah, dude likes video games. It was reasonably fun, but that kind of just got me to hook up that thing and get it set up again. So I also played I Expect You to Die for the first time, the kind of James Bond themed escape room thing.
Yeah.
Which is fun. Like our play space is kind of small, so you have to use the psychic powers a lot to like pick up things that are not near you.
Okay.
And I had to redraw my zone a couple times because it was like, I'm gonna grab this drawer, and it's like, no, that's your couch. You shouldn't have drawn it that way.
What headset are you using?
Oculus S, I guess.
Oh, okay.
We got it right shortly after Alex came out, like Half-Life Alex. So it's a bit older. I guess it won't have that Resident Evil 4 that Paul was excited about, right?
Is that like only Quest?
I thought it was. Yeah.
That seems weird to do.
That does seem weird. Like meta exclusive makes sense to me, but like headset exclusive seems weird. But you might be right.
Maybe. I guess, yeah, it also like showed me the meta branding for the first time. I hadn't loaded it up since that all happened. So just in time for the massive layoffs, I can get into meta, see what's going on, see what's left.
I just looked it up. It is only available on the Oculus Quest 2, so you won't be able to play it on older Quest devices.
Amazing.
There you go. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But, oh well. Have either of you played Pistol Whip?
Yes.
Is it fun? That looked pretty fun.
Do you like rhythm-based stuff?
Yeah, generally, yeah.
Yeah, you should check it out, for sure.
Okay,
Yep.
okay. I wish-listed it. I missed a sale, I guess. That was like, hey, this is on sale. I was like, great. I'm going to totally buy that tomorrow. And I was like, you should have bought it the day of, because that was when the sale was.
Hey, look, Black Friday's in 2 weeks, so
True.
I'm sure there's another sale coming.
Yeah, okay. But back in regular reality, I also finally started playing Vampire Survivors. You are the bullet hell, waves of things attacking you.
You're the vampire survivor. You're the surviving vampire. Yeah.
You're fighting the monsters. It's pretty fun. Like early on, like I was kind of like, but then once I finally had a successful time, where I was like, wow, there's all sorts of death flying out of my guy. This is great.
Yep.
It was really great for a while. Now it's gotten to where it's hyper specific objectives I'm trying to accomplish, and I'm like, man, I failed. I spent 27 minutes and died and got nothing out of that run. So,
you should be excited for the next point you're gonna hit, where you know exactly what you need. You'll make a meta in your mind, and every run will be the exact same from then on. Again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I still have some characters to unlock and things I want to do, and there's still like the main thing I haven't figured out, which is like, no, it's clear you can get past the 30-minute limit, but how? Like, what am I missing?
Wait, can you?
Yeah.
There's unlocks that are, say, like, reach minute 31 on this level, so it's okay, I have to be able to fight death or something. And the whole Castlevania vibe to it made me think, like, wait, you fight the Grim Reaper in those games and win. So I'm assuming there's a way to breach this barrier.
I will say there is always going to be a hard stop, no matter what, but you can pass the 30-minute mark if your build is so stupidly strong. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. There's still some evolutions and stuff I haven't gotten, but in general, it's a really fun podcasting game. It's the one thing that's made me really wish I had a Steam Deck or something, because I'd love to have basketball on and be playing that.
Sure.
But I can't do both without... I could put basketball on the small screen and have an iPad next to me with the basketball, but that's dumb. So
true.
I haven't done that.
It did just come to Xbox, and I'm just pretty much waiting for it to get touch controls so that I can just kind of play it on my phone.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, I started playing it on Paul's account because he shared Steam accounts with me, and it's like, wait, it's on Game Pass. I could be getting real achievements. So I started playing it on that.
And there's like 100 of them.
Yeah, there's 1,200 points or something. I got 730 or something so far. Very fun. It's also like the first time since when I was playing a bunch of Guitar Hero and like would look away from the screen and the walls would be scrolling. It's like I close my eyes and there's just pulsing circles and like crawling in my mind.
Yep.
It's weird, but I think pretty great.
There's a pretty awesome early moment in that game that everyone will experience where you get enough garlic and a swarm of bats come at you.
Yeah.
And you just go through them.
You just run at them.
It's the most satisfying, like hitting the pulse in your brain. Like I'm the rat cheese button. Just like keep going. Like that's such a good moment.
If you keep playing, you will get to the point too where you can build runs where you're like, that was really cool. What if I could do that with everything this game throws at me by the end? And those are the fun runs where you're just like, you continuously just walk and shit is dying around you, and you're like, oh my god, my brain is so satisfied.
It is pretty silly how it's like, this is just a slot machine. Like,
totally,
just colors are just going off, and I'm hearing good sounds.
Totally. So I remember when we first were talking about this, this game, saying that like, if this was a mobile game, all of this stuff would be monetized or whatever. Like, you would open a chest and the chest would cost like $1 or whatever to open.
Or there'd be like timers and stuff.
It has all of that stuff associated with it, to the point now where there are mobile like ripoffs of it that people are super into. And they do that stuff. And I'm sure they probably make some bank. But yeah, it hits like every satisfaction nerve in your brain, that game. It's crazy.
I do find though, like, some of my favorite levels are ones I've beat really quickly, so then I move on to levels I am bad at. Like, I spent way more time in the bone zone than I wanted because I was not succeeding there.
Did. Yep.
I was like, there's no chickens. What's going on? So I was just dying at minute 28 or whatever, like several times, and it just was all for naught.
Sure.
Hey, yeah. I mean, sometimes you come up short in the bone zone. It happens to all of us. It's just natural. Yeah, I
definitely did. I've had some bad sessions and some really great ones after that. So it's been ebbing and flowing a bit. But in general, very positive. I was very skeptical. It sounded like a clicker or something. Just hearing about it.
Kind of is.
Yeah. It's just like the numbers go up and that's it. It's like, yeah. I guess so. I'm kind of just walking around, but slightly strategically until I don't need to anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Generally very positive. And then I loaded up Splatoon 3 today thinking the Splatfest had started, but I guess it's tomorrow. So I already voted and got my t-shirt. And things are like ready for it in the streets, but it's not on. So I was kind of just wasting time.
What's
apparently,
Splatfest? Like, what's the?
It's like you're voting for
Pokemon.
Like your answer to a big question. This one is, which is your favorite starter type in Pokemon? So grass, water, or fire.
Right.
And then you choose a team. So I chose my team. I chose grass because I don't know. It was the funny answer to me. Sure. And I like squirrels. I don't know. Is Sentret grass type?
Is that Murphy?
I don't remember.
That's Murphy. Yeah.
My
favorite Pokemon ever.
Old Pokemon. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I'm not with
Bulbasaur's grass?
Yes.
Okay.
That's true.
Oh, wait. No, Sentret evolves into Furret. Okay. No, I think it's a normal type. It's not grass.
Right.
Normal
that makes sense.
Normal and ground.
I would have voted normal if that was an option, but I think they're going for like 3 answers for this game because it's Splatoon 3. So yeah, it was the first time I played it. Like, I was playing that game every day until Vampire Survivors hit me, and then I was like, I would rather play this because then I just see the screen exploding immediately, and hooray! So yeah, it was the game that took over my habit of playing Splatoon all the time. But still got a little bit of that in because I'm starting to get frustrated with failing. I tried the boss rush today and had a bad time in Vampire.
We did a bonus podcast, so we talked pretty in depth about Splatoon 3. I was a big fan of the like Dungeon Dice Monster style like board game that they put in there, like the card one.
I did a little bit of table turf battle today with another player. I don't know if that's new. I hadn't seen that before. Where you could just walk up to somebody and be like, "Hey, I have a deck." And
that is new. I remember John saying that they added that like when we were talking about it for TDP Plus, I think.
It was mostly just me playing against a bunch of weird NPCs. Like
Before
I got up to the little Junior Judd or whatever, the little cat who talks very serious game and is very good. So it was fun. Yeah, it's a fun mode. But I usually play that portable, like when I have a game on or something, because like this doesn't require me to be good at Splatoon. Really, I can just look at this turn-based thing.
Sure. Yeah.
So yeah. But I guess that's the big 4. That's the big 4 games I've been playing.
All right.
So yeah.
Paul, you've also got 4 big games.
I do. So I finished off Signalis, and I think everybody would probably enjoy that game. Like, it's just well made. It's pretty fun to play. If you grew up in the period where you got into like Silent Hill and like survival horror from like that era, you will fall in love with that game. That game is basically just, it does all the good things Silent Hill did back in the day. So like story wise and just kind of how you get around and play it. That game is so super cool. That's definitely somewhere on my game of the year list, probably. I don't know. I got to make that list, but it's a strong contender on there for sure. Okay. That game is a bit longer too. All right, I'm just going to give a pro tip. That game does a credit, like you hit credits, but there's actually more game after that. So hit that like new game or whatever and keep playing because the real ending hasn't happened yet. Just pro tip. Because I didn't know that until I was like, I played it. I was like, okay, that's credits. That's kind of a weird place to end it, like kind of open ending. But I mean, I don't know. Survival horror games do open endings. That's a thing that happens. And then a friend of mine was like, dude, there's like 2 hours left of that game. I was like, oh, okay, let's go back.
Okay, so it didn't seem like that's a not ending. That's no more heroes.
Credits happened, and then it went back to like the starting screen. But if I had been paying a little bit more attention and wasn't so tired when I played it the first time, the like eyeball on the like new game continue load whatever is different. So like there are small differences that are like, oh, this is kind of like a different thing going on, and then you get like a new perspective and like, yeah, it's cool, but it confused me a little bit.
Kind of like near, like it's like a little different vantage point.
It's pretty near, like but you're not replaying stuff. If that makes sense.
The game is about replicants, so I'm assuming it's somewhat near like.
It's I mean, lore wise, it is extremely near like in that regard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
I didn't mean to insinuate that. I don't know. So.
That game is super cool. I followed it up with a game that is less than super cool called The Chant. This is a game that nobody's talking about, and probably for good reason.
I haven't heard of this.
This
is it based on that DVAS song from Edmonton?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. The Chant is, think about the Evil Dead. No, not the Evil Dead. The Evil Within video game. But
okay.
But
it's a real bad camera.
You are a character that goes to an island retreat thing to like meditate and kind of like you're part of this like guru's like retreat or whatever. You get talked into it by your friend. You show up. It's pretty culty like.
It sounded culty.
It's totally fucking culty. And there's like some supernatural shit going on with emotions and gems that give you powers to manipulate auras. It's goofy in a way that's like, look, if you wanted to play through this game and just kind of laugh at it, sure, it's good for that. This game is $50 Canadian. It is about 5 hours long, and it is I think
is it going for that like folk horror, like a Wicker Man or something, or
it is, but it's more arcadey, like
I'm seeing like cosmic horror being thrown around a lot.
There's definitely cosmic horror things going in there, but it's pretty goofy in how it does it.
Intentionally, or it's like bad.
I don't
horror,
know.
So
it really feels like a B movie in that, like, the best thing about it is honestly the music stingers are pretty great. There's a lot of weird like synth wave, like dark synth type stuff, and like stingers that hit that are like, oh, this is like a cheesy movie. I get it, but then also parts that seem like, oh, maybe they're trying to be kind of serious about this. I don't know. The tone is a little off. More than anything, it's a pretty short game for way more. It's way more expensive than it deserves to be, probably. And
wait for a sale.
Wait for a sale. And I think the final thing I said about it was I've never had a game that was so short overstay its welcome so much by the end, because that ending is fucking abysmal. There's apparently a bunch of endings too, depending on which like thing you upgraded between your mind, your heart, and what's the other one? Spirit, probably. Yeah.
What did you upgrade?
Well, I went through. They all give you kind of a different like benefit, so I kind of upgraded all three of them. I guess I upgraded strength a little bit more by the end, and the reason for that is because every time I upgraded, or heart or whatever, every time you upgrade a certain thing, it gives you a full heal because it's like upgrading your health bar. And I needed that because it didn't give me enough resources for the final fight to heal. So I was using my leveling up on the final fight for free heals.
As a free heal?
Yeah.
Okay. So the strength ending is bad, I guess.
No, I don't know. They're probably all relatively the same, but that ending was pretty bad in that, like, something just happens and it cuts to black and credits, and then it's like, oh, okay. Is that like the bad ending? I don't know. Whatever. And then I uninstalled it right after.
All right. So not great.
Yeah, not great.
$50, you could buy Vampire Survivors 10 times.
True.
It's so cheap. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's a great game. I bought Sonic Frontiers for the day I knew I would get to play it before Ragnarok, and that session was great. I really like that game a lot.
Wow.
That game is super fun to play.
Sonic did it.
Well, okay.
Wow. Okay.
I bought it with
72 on Metacritic.
This is interesting. This is a very unique take I've heard, because I've been listening to a lot of people talk about this game.
Yeah, they're wrong.
No one is as positive as you are.
Yeah, I'm being a little, like, over the top. It's fine. But I did have fun with it.
But for a 3D Sonic game, that might be saying something.
So I
just hope this is good. I don't know why. Sonic needs a break, man. Well, he made it in the movies.
Here's kind of what I've heard
numerous
times from different sources, and you can tell me kind of how it relates to your experience.
Sure.
So everyone I've been hearing has been saying that this game is just a giant question mark. It is so confusing.
Sure.
They looked at, someone played Breath of the Wild and was like, I bet I could do something like that, but in like the most broken, lazy possible way. But there are quiet moments where there's like little piano jingles going by. There are straight up Korok seeds.
Yeah, they're straight up there. Yeah.
There's a weirdly long like RPG progression that's not like why is this here? Why do I need to upgrade Sonic's speed 99
Hey, Sonic
times?
the Dark Brotherhood.
I have not done any of that stuff, admittedly. I will say I've done like 2 or 3 world boss fights, and those have been rad. One of them was like, I don't know, like a flying monster. So the boss fights in the world are almost like Shadow of the Colossus things, which is hilarious. One of them was just like a big Colossus thing that like it would slam its hand down, and then like Shadow of the Colossus, you have to like run up its arm really fast and attack its head, and you have to do that a few times or whatever. Another one is literally a bird with like this weird light trail that you have to jump on from a ramp and then just like chase it down using its light trail that it's leaving to like attack its head. Just like really cool ideas for bosses that I'm like, what is this? This is so good. And then it's like, okay, I want to progress. I want to see a little bit more of this game. Oh, you need keys. Okay, where do I get keys? Oh, you have to do the 3D Sonic sections. Okay.
So is that their shrines? Are like
that's their
3D
shrines.
Sonic levels?
And that part I hate.
And from what I understand, it's not just 3D Sonic. Like there will straight up be side-scrolling, like fixed camera Sonic sections in there. But yes, it's kind of the equivalent of the shrines. It sounds like
you go in and do some Sonic-y stuff.
Yeah, like a linear, like you can't control the camera and it'll like pan around as it needs to, and you're running through a thing, and you have to collect red coins to get one key. You have to beat a certain time to collect another key. You have to do this to collect another key. It's one of those things that like, if you're really good, you could probably get, I think there's 4 keys or whatever in one run. I'm not, because I don't do well with like, I don't know, like I'm looking for a red coin and you're going at like this speed where it's impossible to see where the red coins are. So you're stopping a lot to look around.
So that's kind of another thing about what I've been hearing a lot of is like, you know, it's not exactly an open world like Breath of the Wild,
right?
But it is a very large level. And I guess there's like a series of them kind of. It's extremely generic looking. Like all the color and like themes you would expect from like Green Hill Zone and stuff are just not in this world. It just looks like
in the overworld.
I definitely still think it looks like a Unity like or UE5 tech demo sort of thing with Sonic in it. That's still
the way I had it. One description I saw of it, which was pretty accurate for kind of what I had seen, was like the opening area of Death Stranding, but Sonic's there instead of
a little bit. There's a little bit of that.
All right.
So, but when you compare this again to Breath of the Wild, it's like Breath of the Wild was kind of slow and methodical, and you enjoyed exploring this big space, and there was like things around every corner. But Sonic goes so fast he's just kind of rushing past all of this stuff.
It's funny because there is actually more everywhere in this game than Breath of the Wild, but like you said, you go through it so fast that you're having to backtrack a lot, which is pretty hilarious. Like, there's a lot of rails and stuff that when you get going and you have momentum, you're just like clearing a whole island like really quickly, which is great until you realize, oh, there's like 10 things in that little area I just skipped that I need to progress the like story because it unlocks stuff. That's kind of funny.
That they're gating that stuff is a little weird.
That's
like
the part
if
I
it's
don't
just like,
like.
hey, it's like flavor, it's extra stuff, it's bonus stuff. But if it's like, no, you need to get those keys in order to do anything.
Yeah,
I am super curious. Like, I'm not $60 curious. There's no way. I'm also just made the commitment with myself that I'm not going to spend $60 on a Sonic game and for my entire life. I'm that person. So
sure, okay.
maybe a sale or something, because I just need to know, because it does seem like such a like, what even is this? Like, this is the craziest weird game possible, and it's like someone played Breath of the Wild over at Sega and they thought, I could do that, but they didn't think if they should do that.
I mean, for what it's worth, they did. It's an open world thing with a bunch of little stuff to do. Like,
is there chatty Sonic characters? Like, you know, hey, it's Amy.
Yes, they are in there, but they kind of like.
All right.
I don't know. I guess the idea is that Robotnik did something to like activate this ancient power that like.
Oh, I saw 2 movies of that. Yeah.
Yeah, that sucked them all in. And they're all trapped now. So, like, the other night I saved Amy. I don't remember what I did. I think I, like...
Or those, like, the dungeons you're saving a buddy?
No, they're in the open world. You just have to do, like, a bunch of different things to kind of unlock the, like, cage.
Gotta grind on a rail. You know, it's Sonic.
You gotta grind on a rail.
Do you get to play as some of them? Like,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't played nearly enough to, like, actually give you a definitive review.
I haven't heard anyone saying other characters. I think it's just Sonic.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Does he have a sword, like in that Wii game?
Not as far as I've seen yet.
Not that I've heard.
But
I don't know. It just seems so open as to what could be crammed in it. So
the thing that that I really came away with is that I don't think I've ever heard Sonic's new like actual voice acting in games, because I don't play the 3D Sonic games where like he would be talking. His voice
Sonic
is
Boom?
No, I don't do any of that shit. His voice is fucking terrible. What a god-awful choice for a voice for him.
Okay, do you say that, though, just because you love Ben Schwartz so much, and no matter what, you're going to hate it?
It's not that I love... I do like Ben Schwartz. It's not that I love Ben Schwartz, but I think his voice is, like, accurate to what I would think for that character. I think that was good casting.
You're saying Ben Schwartz was such a good fit for Sonic that you will accept no one else now?
At this point, yeah. Like, why would you settle for second best?
He raised the bar. I mean,
this. You know what this sounds like? This sounds like when the Avengers game was first shown, and everyone was like, "This doesn't look like Chris Evans. What is wrong with these people?"
I mean, kind of, but it worked the other way. Where like watching Ms. Marvel, I'm like, I like the Marvel's Avengers video game version of Kamala way more.
Okay, sure. Okay.
So yeah, it's one of those things that like the thing that you know and like, you're gonna hold on to, and I don't care that like, oh, this is a voice actor that's been doing them for 20 years. He's fucking bullshit. Get Ben Schwartz in there. He's the real voice for Sonic. Stop this. Like
he's probably too.
He's the successor to the Sonic throne. Yeah. Let him take over.
Now, okay. Everyone's been wondering this question. Hang on. This is everyone's asking in the chat.
All right.
God of War is the other big title that came out this week. Those are the 2 heavy hitters. God of War came out on a Wednesday, which is super weird for video game. Did they do that to get away from Sonic?
We got to get out of the way.
Yeah. I mean,
Sonic Shadow.
If you're not getting out of the way, you're gonna get run over. Sonic don't stop for nothing.
Yeah. He's gonna eat him like a chili dog.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So,
my last question is about the Koroks that are literally in it. Are they chows? Are they chows?
No. Think a Korok. Now think a Korok that's a little stubbier and made out of stone. That's exactly what it is. Like, it's literally a Korok.
Seed. So it's really different, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, all right. Little rock
golems
so much or something.
Like, yeah, it's ridiculous. It's actually hilarious. No, I thought Sonic Frontiers from the bit I played was actually super, super fun. However, I played that for the night it came out, and every other night I've been dying to play more God of War Ragnarok. So like, there's a clear winner this week in what gets my time, because I've also been playing that.
The best. So when we come to the game of the week, probably not Sonic Frontiers, but we come to the game of Tuesday last week. It's Sonic Frontiers.
Oh, for sure. Because I actually finished the chant
Tuesday night.
I finished the chant and then moved to Sonic Frontiers. So there were 2 games I played that night.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. But yes, let's talk God of War, because I see you've been playing it as well.
Absolutely, yes. This was probably, so again, as everyone knows, when you move countries, you have to change your PlayStation Network account.
Oh
because
yeah,
Sony
here we
will not
go.
let you yeah. So so I'm stuck using my Canadian account. This is probably the most expensive game I've ever purchased, because it ended up being 95 Canadian dollars.
Holy shit.
That's just the most money in the world.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it does convert to 70 American, like it's the same thing,
Yeah.
but just that number, I was like, are their numbers even higher than this? And I haven't seen them yet. So
It's true.
Is that a premium edition of any kind, or that's just the vanilla?
That's how-
PS5
cone.
edition.
That's how games
Okay.
come now. Yeah, they're $70.
Yeah.
Huh. Ouch. Okay.
I know, like you're over there buying, Vampire Survivors, $5.
$5.69 or whatever it is right now. So
Yeah, nice. And then I'm 95.
like the dopamine per penny it's so high. It's such a value.
Very true.
But-
Yep.
I could have played Vampire Survivors 19 times. I think I did the math right there. I could have bought it 19
Okay.
times.
So $95 premium game.
Me and my 18 friends.
How many
could've-
Vampire Survivors was this worth of money? Oh, it's about 19. It's 19 Vampire Survivors.
It's about 19, yeah. In Canadian dollars. Yeah.
Yes.
Which is actually only like $3 American.
I
so
guess
why am I even
I'll
complaining?
also like jump in here. I am playing the PS4 version. I was thinking, do I just wait for like a good version? And then I was like, no, I can't, because like there's already people spoiling shit online as of like earlier this week. I got to jump in and at least see it.
Oh, I mean, I was watching the Digital Foundry stuff. They say it runs totally fine on PlayStation 4.
It's
Your
fantastic.
PlayStation 4 will just sound like it's screaming.
Yeah,
like,
but I mean,
pinging at all
everything in
times.
my house screams, so it's fine.
So it just blends in.
Yeah, exactly. It's just joining the chorus. No, it is okay. It's 30 frames locked, which is fine for most stuff. You feel
What
it.
are we even doing here?
You feel it in the combat really hard. Like I'm getting more accustomed to it because I'm kind of not playing anything else but God of War, so my brain has like been like, okay, it's gonna feel a little like leggier or whatever. That's fine, and I'm okay with it. But like the first night, I was like, oh yeah, this combat feels like kind of shitty again. But I'm over that. I'm over that hump where my brain is attuned to garbage, so we're good.
Mm.
You were used to going fast. Like
Yeah, I
really
was
fast.
playing Sonic
And
the night before.
now you have to kick it with old man Kratos and his slow ass fighting.
Yeah, exactly. Can I just say that it's really great that Kratos has been doing some cognitive behavioral therapy where he knows his triggers and he starts getting mad, but then he's like, I said, and then he repeats himself in a calmer voice, and him and Atreus, I think, are really, really getting along. I think it's
It's a progress. All right.
Atreus is a teenager. He's gonna have to like calm down a bit because like old man, like younger Kratos would just flip his shit.
No, doesn't that mean that Atreus is going to be less annoying? That's how that works, right? Teenagers are less annoying than kids.
Right. Yeah. No, I don't know what I'm thinking. Yeah. How far into it are you?
Oh, I've only played about 2 hours. I'm in Svartalheim. I made the first jump to like a new realm.
Okay, I think we're at about the same point. I
Okay.
put about 3 hours in.
Yeah, I basically I wanted to cry.
not as good
I'll
as you.
say, like right at the beginning, they do some bullshit that like actually just made me like, what the fuck, man? I had a long day. I can't deal with this right now.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I saw like the Kotaku headline from like a day or two ago that it was like the first few hours of God of War are rough if you're an animal lover.
Terrible.
Um,
Absolutely.
so I'm playing the PS5 version.
Yeah.
This is one of the nicest games I've seen in a while.
Mm-hmm.
That might also be because I've been playing a lot of Vampire Survivors. So the jumping quality just
Yeah, it's
There's
startling.
probably not as many dudes on the screen though, but Yeah.
That's true. This time it's just one big dude.
Yeah.
He's so angry.
He's so angry.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
It sounds great. It is more God of War, so I feel like a little bit of the shine is off there because it is just kind of God of War 2018 again. I say that as someone whose game of the year was God of War 2018, so this is my shit. I'm very enjoying it.
I understand what you mean, but like it feels kind of like a homecoming, like, oh, I'm back home for the holidays or something. Like I'm with Kratos and it's literally winter because Ragnarok.
Everything sucks.
Everything sucks.
In this guy's
this is Christmas.
I do like how the game does start a little bit before the little teaser end part of God of War 2018.
Yeah, sets the stage a bit.
Slight spoilers for the teaser end of 2018. Thor shows up and he's like, "Yo, what's up?" So this starts a little bit before that, and then you kind of get the build up to when Thor arrives, and then he meets Thor and whatnot, and that's a cool fight with Thor. That was pretty enjoyable.
Yep. I like how they play that whole thing too, where it's kind of this like, are they going to fight? Are they not going to fight? Like that whole scene is quite good.
It's enjoyable. Like I really do love the cutscenes. Again, like they look so good. Like Kratos just looks like so good. The armor looks great. He looks like old. Just like the oh man, it looks so good. And yeah, like I can't really talk too much about the story because I'm pretty much where you are. They're going on a quest to figure out kind of what
the deal with Atreus is.
Yeah. And that's kind of all I know at this point. It's good, and it's just it's the thing I get with all my PS5 games. Since it's not my like primary console, every time I do come back to the PS5, I'm playing just the most gorgeous looking games, and it just feels like a treat. They're doing the whole kind of one take thing that they did in 2018 again, so it's like all seamless, no cuts, except for when you're like warping to a different world. Then there are some cuts, but yeah, and it's just nice. Everything's snappy, loads super fast, which because like the other game I'm kind of playing a lot of is like Mario and Rabbids, which even going into the menu like hitches.
Sure.
It chugs opening a menu because it's a Switch, and the Switch just wants to die at this point. But yeah, I'm gonna probably be playing this for a bit.
Yep.
It's so enjoyable, and yeah.
The accessibility options in this game are fantastic as well. One of the things that I really liked, I really like the ability to turn on holding a button down rather than mashing it, because I'm sick of mashing buttons. So I think that's a cool accessibility option. But there's a few others that I changed. I've talked before about like I get motion sick pretty easily in like some games now because I'm old and dying and all that. And like camera sway and a lot of shake and stuff can be no bueno for me. So like the combat stuff in some games is usually pretty bad. You can turn like all of that stuff down a lot, and you can choose like camera sway specifically, different from like screen shake, different from motion blur, all that stuff. Like I really appreciate like when you remember that this is a console game, like that's pretty great. Because PC games have started being a little bit better about that stuff too. But sometimes console games are just kind of like, nah, you get what you get, and you're going to like it for options. Yeah. So
I do feel like a lot of the bigger budget stuff is getting a lot more accessibility
They're
options.
better now.
I mean, if we think about, I think it was the Game Awards maybe last year, like Horizon 5.
Yeah, Horizon's great for that.
And that one was incredible for the accessibility. And I remember, I think I saw a headline where Sony Santa Monica for God of War was like, we tried to just match pretty much everything Horizon did, and Horizon had a ton of accessibility.
Yeah.
Sorry, I went from a game called Horizon to another game called Horizon. Horizon Forbidden West and Zero Dawn also had a lot of accessibility stuff.
Yeah. So that's just carrying forward, I guess, the Sony Studios legacy now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming they can probably talk to each other pretty well and kind of work together, being pretty much first party, if not like a kind of a quasi second party thing. So
I like it's gonna be one of those things that I think when it's done, we're probably gonna want to talk about it. Maybe like even we do an impromptu, just you and me, if we're the only ones playing it, like spoiler cast on it or something. because
I think we did a spoiler cast for the first one.
Yeah, we did.
I totally forgot about that, but
because that's the type of game that's hard to talk about in like this format, because you're going to revisit it every week and there's going to be spoilers and stuff, which is kind of bad for kind of a variety like multi-purpose gaming thing. But I do think there's probably going to be a lot in there we're going to want to talk about. So I don't know. We'll see. But
yeah, we'll see where we're at when we finish it.
Yeah.
I think it's too early to tell. Like I said, I know barely what's going on because it's a long game. I keep hearing like 60 hours.
Okay.
Is some of these runtimes. So it's definitely a long one. It was pretty exciting before the game came out, seeing the Metacritic scores, like just kind of across the board. It's at like 95. So
okay.
I definitely was like really excited before it came out, and I played a little bit Tuesday night. Like I was there waiting for the countdown.
Yeah. No, that's good stuff.
All right, the other thing I'm playing, I just briefly wanted to complain about this.
Okay,
in some kind of public forum. I'm still playing a lot of Marvel Snap.
Mhm.
Last week they released their new season. The second season is a Black Panther themed one, and I was like, all right, I missed the first season because I got through like the the entry pass 3 days before the Spider-Man season ended, and I was like, I'm not gonna buy that season if there's only 3 days to do the stuff. So I'm gonna get the new season. Then I found out the seasons last a month.
Mm-hmm.
You kidding me? The season passes are $10. That's a pretty standard battle pass price.
Mm-hmm.
It's a month long.
Yeah.
I come from a background of 3 months are a season at least. What are you doing? I'm not giving you $10 for the ability to get 3 unique cards. No way.
They got to milk that money out of you somehow.
And you can't even like earn it to keep like I would drop it if there was within the pass able to earn the next one. None of that. So I was like, nope, I'm just gonna keep not putting money in this.
Can you not?
No.
Wow.
The only stuff you get from the season pass premium is you get the 3 unique cards eventually, you get some variants, you get some profile icons, and you get boosts. And you get in-game currency that doesn't let you buy anything really worthwhile. Like you don't get any of the gold currency. You get the super easy to get one.
Interesting. That's a pretty bad deal. I wonder what made them think that's worth anything.
It's not great. I have not seen a season pass this lame since Multiverses.
Yeah,
that was holy smokes. That was annoying.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a bunch of games that we played. Now let's talk about a bunch of news that I read about.
Okay.
Maybe you did too. Did anyone watch the Nintendo live stream a couple of days ago?
No.
No.
I didn't know this was a thing.
Yep. So that
was that's where they showed the Mario movie trailer, right? I'm just checking.
So we saw his voice, and it sounds great. Can't wait.
Yeah, everybody was really happy.
This was an indie stream, so not a lot of big news, but just a bunch of games that are now confirmed coming to the Switch. I wanted to just point out a couple ones worth checking out. Pepper Grinder, you should absolutely watch this trailer. This looks awesome.
Okay.
Pepper Grinder. Okay.
And
cooking
the other
game,
one,
I assume.
Oh no, it's a drilling game.
Okay.
Like a platforming, but you have a big drill.
My God, this reminds me of a game, but I don't remember which one.
It's not Mr. Driller.
You're thinking of Elden Ring.
Drill Dozer.
No, I'm thinking of Elden Ring. He got it.
Okay.
This looks
probably
exactly
part in Elden Ring where you drilled into the ground.
This does look actually really fun. Yeah,
it looks very cool. I should say there's a lot of games on this list that are really cool. The ones I'm mentioning are just ones that I had never heard about before.
Okay.
The other one you need to look up is the trailer Once Upon a Jester. This one is already out. It came out the day of the stream. So I'm just kind of waiting for some free time to pick that up. And of course, these are also on Steam. But just other ones that, had been announced beforehand. I still think A Little to the Left is fantastic. Obviously, Rogue Legacy 2 is very good. I'm a big fan of Desta. Space for the Unbound looks cool. So it's definitely some really cool stuff in here. And I enjoyed it quite a bit. We got a release date for Sports Story finally. Well, we got a release month. It's coming December. So
okay.
Just in time for the Christmas break. Play some Sports Story.
Cool.
In weirder news, has anyone been following this Mick Gordon stuff?
I started reading this morning, and then I was going to be late for work. His thing that he did, his Medium post, is fucking huge.
It's like 14,000 words.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So
yeah.
For those who don't know, Mick Gordon is the main composer behind the Doom soundtrack,
Yep.
Doom 2016 soundtrack.
Yeah.
And I guess what happened is about a year or so ago, one of the lead developers on Eternal made this infamous Reddit post kind of throwing Mick Gordon under the bus and saying that a lot of the reasons the soundtrack wasn't as good and the original soundtrack, which later on in the story will make sense why those are separated, didn't include him as much. Mick Gordon basically got thrown under the bus and kind of put all the blame on it.
Yeah, he was scapegoated.
For Eternal.
Yeah. Oh, okay, because I heard nothing but good things about the first one.
Yes.
But
yes.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Yes.
And I played it, so I don't know why.
So that studio director at id Software is Marty Stratton.
Yes.
Okay.
So I understand id has worked with Mick Gordon on a number of games now, and he's referenced several of them. So he's pretty well known within that studio.
Yeah.
I should say he's contracted at that studio. He works as a composer isolated. You know, he's on an island.
Yep.
He gets contracted with id pretty frequently. Mick Gordon puts out this 14,000 word Medium post, which I tried reading all this. I got about halfway through it and then realized.
I'm glad I didn't click on this earlier today. Then I was like, oh, there's a thing that's going around. All right, maybe I'll look at that later. I didn't know it was like, no, set aside an hour. Like...
It's actually pretty impressive what he's talking about here, because he's like screenshotting emails. He's screenshotting waveforms.
He has receipts for everything. Yeah.
He's blacking out. That's why it's so long. Is he basically comes in and that original Reddit post from Marty Stratton. He basically says so much of that is a lie, and it has hurt me professionally and amongst my peers in some pretty substantial ways. And I'm going to tell you basically the truth. And he even goes into how id offered him a 6-figure price to shut up about all this because they didn't want the truth to come out. It sounds like. Which he said no, he felt the truth was more important to get out there. Like, this Medium post has a table of contents that he has set up. He's been working on this for a while. There's a TLDR at the end, which I do not think summarizes the facts, because I read that first and I was like, yeah, I think I need to know a bit more. And then I read the first half of it, and it kind of, like, I'm not going to go through the entire thing, but it boils down to, like, kind of just, like, the worst working conditions. Some of the highlights included, like, I guess the original soundtrack was announced for Doom Eternal with his name tied to it before a contract had even been signed.
Right.
So he kind of got put into like weird positions where he had to like rush. He had to, because his name was already on the line. Insanely short deadlines that were getting smaller and smaller because of just weird management delays. A lot of it seems to deal with some crazy bad management on id's side. And then a lot of back and forth where they were just like, no, we're not wrong. You're wrong. And as a result, you need to start all over again. Situations where he wasn't getting paid for like 11-month periods.
Yeah.
While he was crunching at his studio, sleeping at his studio. I'm kind of reading some of his words. Scenarios where he was giving out music tracks to them, they were saying no, but they needed more music tracks. So even though they only approved some of his, they used all of his and then only paid him for the ones they approved, even though they used twice as many of them, despite not even being finalized. So like,
yeah,
it's wild.
So the way this worked is he was contracted to do 2 songs roughly a month, and what this includes is giving them the rough draft, them approving it or whatever, but apparently they wanted to mix well with the game. So part of the problem is that the game wasn't done, or like nothing was done really like finalized. So he was having trouble writing music for parts because he didn't know what like boss battles
what the levels were like and stuff.
He didn't know what the levels were like. So what they did is repurposed a lot of just like what he called exploration music, just like a 30-second loop of like doom 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 sort of thing, right? And like they used
for
that
like major moments and stuff
for like a lot of shit, yeah. And then like they would reject all his stuff, just not reply to his emails at all, sort of thing. And then all this stuff. So the way it was going is that he submits stuff, and then if they like it, they use it, and he moves on to the next one or whatever. They were denying all of it. However, they still used all that stuff. And the problem with that is that all those stuff that got rejected, he does not get paid for, but they are still using it. So, like, this is actually a huge legal issue, and why he's been paid for, like, half of the amount of work that he's done is something like that. There's a lot of just, like, weird stuff about how he did something back in 2015 that they said, no, we're not going to use this. Then they did use it and never paid him. So they're like, okay, put it on our account essentially, and we'll pay you that with the Eternal. Like, it's fucking insane the amount of bullshit he went through here, which is rough because I remember when they made him the scapegoat for the soundtrack. And I even thought, like, wow, Mick Gordon is kind of a piece of shit. All right. And then I moved on with my life. But, like, reading this now, fucking, yeah, it's infuriating reading this shit. It's absolutely infuriating.
Yeah, and I mean, when you come at these kind of scenarios, there is definitely like a initial he said she said kind of thing. So but when you look at how detailed Mick Gordon goes in on his Medium post, it's hard not to side with him.
Totally.
I'm super curious what the next step of this is. Like, does it respond in any way? Like, I'm so curious. But if you're interested in this kind of thing, I highly recommend reading the Reddit post. The Reddit post is much shorter. It's not short, but just in comparison, you can get that Reddit thread read in like half an hour, and then attempt the Mick Gordon post, because it is just like so fascinating to see. Like, it's like a train wreck that does not keep stopping. Like, he has like months and months of car crashes to detail for you here.
You should read it too if you're interested in kind of like behind the scenes, like indie stuff.
I kind of like those Jason Schreier books about horrible studio problems. So this sounds like a firsthand version of that or whatever.
And it's kind of great too, because he actually says, like, just a few things to be clear on how this stuff works. Like, video game music is not the same as OST. That's a different like, he actually goes through like some of that stuff of like why this stuff is important and different, which you never hear about. So if you like industry stuff and kind of seen behind the scenes a little bit from a contractor's point of view, this is fucking fantastic to read. It's just super long.
Okay.
Yeah.
Quick PSA: the Stadia refunds are beginning to roll out.
Cool.
Okay.
Which is kind of interesting. I'll keep
an eye on your account. Money's coming.
Yep, I'm waiting, so I'll let everyone know if I get some money. But I didn't put this next one in here.
I put this next one in here because this popped up on my feed in a bunch of places, and this is just the first one I grabbed. Apparently, people leaked that they found the back end of Returnal on Steam or whatever, so that is coming to PC at some point, and people are rumoring soon. We don't know that it necessarily is soon, but this is all but confirmed from official sources. This is another one of those things where sometimes that Steam backend lets go something before people want, but I just wanted to put it in there because I'm stoked. Yeah, I want to play that game real bad.
I know, that's cool. Speaking of crazy Medium posts,
okay.
Earlier this summer, fall, I think it was when I was in India. Zaum, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. The developer behind Disco Elysium. Kind of disbanded in some weird way out of nowhere, where a bunch of the creatives pretty much left. And there was an error of like, it seemed like there was definitely some like creative differences between like the actual creatives and the businessmen at the top. But it was never really said why. We now got two people, and I'm going to screw up a lot of these names. Robert Kurvitz and Alexander Rostov, game director and art director of Disco Elysium, basically talking about kind of what happened at their studio. There's a long Medium post. It's not that long, kind of interesting. But what it sounds like is their company, or not specifically their company, but the company that owned their company, got a majority stakeholder purchase, giving control to these two Estonian men, who at that point, basically through like a weird shares negotiation, and also it's fraud that they were doing, has ended up ruining this company and pushing people out. And they go on to say that they're in like legal battles now to try and get their studio back. It sounds like these two people could even be going up to like facing jail time, and they have a history of fraud investigators. Like, let me read this last sentence here. Who we believe to be the ringleader has been convicted for defrauding investors on a different matter in 2007.
Oh,
Okay.
The two Estonian guys. Let me get this because I'm gonna screw up the name. So they obtained control over Zaum Studio OU by fraud. What's the guy's names? Ilmar Kompus and Tonis Habal.
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, pretty crazy. It sounded like they were all systems go in going to work on the sequel when this happened, and now it's just like dead at this point. And they're trying to regain control of their company and the IP because right now it's just in these two businessmen's hands.
Were they working on a new game or anything, or is it just they were still like? I don't think that voice acting version came out that long ago of Disco Elysium, right?
Director's cut. That was probably about a year or so.
It was
ago
last year.
At this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, they didn't have anything announced in this article. They did mention that like this was like because when they took over, they used like money from the company to buy the shares,
Oh.
which is part of the whole fraud thing. And they were
Yeah.
saying that money was supposed to go to the developers. The money was supposed to go to the sequel. So they did kind of mention that that was like planned in some way. But they have no. Zaum has not announced a game. It would be super weird for them to announce a game in the middle of
In
all
these
this as well.
turmoil.
Because
Yeah.
who even knows like who's still working there? I have no idea how many creatives are even left at Zaum.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
weird, like kind of an indie darling. Like people really love Disco Elysium. It's held in quite high regard, and just knowing that it's kind of like, well, that team's not going to work together. It seems like on another thing.
Man, that's crazy. Can I just point out one thing Medium that's fun about Medium is it estimates roughly how long it takes to read the post. This is a 3-minute read. I had to see what Mick Gordon's was. 58-minute read.
Okay.
Yeah. I just thought that's fun.
All right. This week it was announced. Actually, this has been announced for years, but it seems more real that Gears of War is getting a movie and an animated series for Netflix.
Yes.
The Pendulum Wars, or what is it about?
I'm assuming it's going to involve Locust.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
And I bet there's a chainsaw gun.
In the end credit after scene, right? It's like
someone's gonna go, my tomatoes.
Yeah. That was a great bit. Gears 4 was fun. I kind of hope it has that tone of like B horror or whatever.
Yeah.
It was a nice change.
I bet it's super serious. I bet it's super like, hell yeah, we're gonna roadie run. We're
just
gonna
Tears for Fears covers all over it.
Yeah,
Mad World is gonna play.
You're probably right. I just hope not. I don't know. Those games have always been like kind of silly to me. So yeah.
They've been silly, but they take themselves extremely seriously.
Yeah, but that's fun when you're boombastic and stupid. Like, whatever. That's part of the fun. But yes, I think it will be almost dry.
This was announced on Gears of War's 16th anniversary. There's just a fun fact for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Time's out. Yeah.
Everyone wants Dave Bautista to do Marcus.
Including him.
Including him. He came out with a short video where he and straight up said, I can't make this any easier, and it's him wearing the armor.
I just remember Brian Ekberg of GameSpot was the first person I heard like approached him at a wrestling event and told him that, and he was really excited about the idea like 14 years ago or something, like quite a while ago. Okay. So it's still a good fit. He's
already in the game. Like I don't know if it was Gears 5. One of them you could get a Batista skin.
Okay.
For Marcus, I think.
Yeah.
So he was already in there some way. But yeah, Batista's the one everyone's saying, as well as Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, Terry Crews.
Terry
Oh,
Crews,
yeah.
yes, is the other one.
Sure.
I'm assuming as Coltrane or
Probably, yeah. That's
probably.
an easy fit, right? Like, could you see
Yeah,
him getting really excited
retired.
about football? So then I ask you guys, who plays Baird?
Oh,
People were saying John
plays
Cena.
John Cena as like kind of, but Baird's the smart one, right? He's like the inventor,
Yeah.
techie kind of
like
one.
the smarmy, like blonde hair hacker guy. It's kind of always condescending.
I guess he has the build. So then who's Dom?
I don't know. I couldn't think
Michael
of one.
Pena with like 60 more pounds of muscle. Like he just has to hit the gym right now.
What if, I mean, it's not the same like ethnicity, but what if you just went with like Vin Diesel?
Yeah.
It's just
okay. Why not?
burly looking, I guess. I don't think we've hit the Baird casting quite right, but I don't know. Bleach blonde tips and everything. Like who is that?
I mean, I think people are just saying John Cena because he's like blonde.
Sure.
And blonde.
That's why. Yep.
And there's only so many of those.
But he's gonna be too busy doing the Duke Nukem move. Like, I just don't know.
Yeah. Peacemaker season 2.
Oh well. Okay. About time, I guess. Like hell, it's about time or whatever. Titus says. Yeah.
Yeah. I think this will probably happen at this point. Although they announced a BioShock movie earlier this year, and I haven't heard anything about that.
Oh, is Gore Verbinski back on that? He's gonna.
I don't think there's any details besides Netflix is doing a BioShock movie.
All right.
But I mean, an animated one. That makes sense. They're doing so many like video game animes right now on Netflix, and they seem to be doing well for them. All right, we're continuing the trend of following whatever's happening with the Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake.
Yeah.
So Ubisoft has come out and said it's not canceled, but we're refunding all pre-orders.
When I saw this on Twitter, I was wondering if you pulled it.
I mean, at this point, we have to report on everything happening with this game because it's just too wild and crazy not to.
Yeah.
The quote is, since the game currently does not have a release date, existing pre-orders have been canceled and refunded where applicable. The publisher said pre-orders, quote, may reopen once the game's new release date is announced. That's crazy because I've been around pre-orders for a while. Some games will just sit on pre-orders for years and years and years and years. But they're actually canceling them, so that's pretty wild.
Oh yeah, like even what was it? Final Fantasy Versus 13 that kind of just kept tailing along, and then eventually it became Lightning Returns or something, or what was it?
Yep.
Like it was
You're
like okay, this sort of still exists, so we're gonna convert your pre-order to this new product.
I even remember with like the Duke Nukem ones, there was people online being like, "Here's my original."
I got the longest Duke Nukem Forever pre-order. It was 2002. Like I was at 3D Realms and saw it. And something. Yeah. Is Jordan Mechner working on this? Or
I mean, I have no idea, but I still am baffled that this game is going through so much turmoil. It's just a remake of Prince of Persia 1.
Yeah.
Like
insane.
How is? I mean, I'm not a game developer, but how is that like this hard?
Yeah.
All right, McDonald's announced a gaming chair that will heat up your McCrispy.
What? I read that this exists, but I didn't read it was an official McDonald's thing. It was like, oh, it has grease-proof buckets for your food.
Well, no, the whole thing is grease-proof. You know how,
awesome.
Paul? Let me put it in the kind of terms you'll understand. You know when you're gaming and you have to wipe your greasy hand on your chair.
No, I don't. Yeah, no.
And you didn't win that Sonic controller with the fuzz on it, so you can't just.
I will admit, sometimes I'm like eating while watching something like at the computer, but then I will throw that away and clean up and then game.
And then it's gaming time.
By cleaning it up, you mean you're wiping it on the chair, and you're just like, nah, I got a grease stain on the chair.
Obviously, I mean that. Jesus.
I almost made this mistake today when I got set up with food and then was about to launch Vampire Survivors, and it's like, no, you can't. Like, it's half an hour of activity, and you can't eat while doing it, really.
All right, let me tell you what this chair has, okay?
Yeah. All right.
It's got a fries holder. All right?
Yeah, I'm looking at the picture.
It's got two dip holders.
Yeah.
A hot box to keep your McCrispy warm while gaming. I don't fully know what that whole sentence means, but that sounds disgusting.
I'm pretty sure a McCrispy is their new way to call a chicken sandwich, because I've seen that on their menu. And it seems like the chicken sandwich, so I don't know what the difference is.
I'm going to see what McCrispy is on Urban Dictionary.
I'm going to go ahead and put a picture of this on the OBS.
Is this an answer to that KFC thing from a while ago? Didn't they have some sort of gaming product?
Isn't that like a whole console?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so McCrispy is not on Urban Dictionary, so people should get on that. There's also a built-in napkin holder and 2 reusable napkins. What? With McCrispy branding.
One of those cloth rolling napkins?
Yep, that's what it is.
Why do you need this if it's a grease-proof chair?
I'm going to put the picture in our Discord call, even though it's probably going to fuck up the video for a second. There. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a stain-proof leather treatment so you can enjoy your McCrispy in peace.
Okay,
I mean,
so pretend
God.
I'm sold. Where do I get it? Like, is this available for sale?
No, I think it's like a giveaway on a contest. Yeah.
Dang it! It's like a prototype.
It's like that Xbox fridge.
That thing's real. You can buy those. Those are in like Targets down here.
Oh,
I don't know
really?
if there still are, but those were definitely just like on sale.
Okay, great.
Well, sorry, the mini fridges were. I don't know if the full size ones were
Yeah,
real.
I thought the full size one was one of those things where people were like, "Where can I get that?" And they were like, "You can't. Like, that's crazy. Don't be."
We like set it up at a trade show. It was kind of a goof.
Yeah.
I really thought about trying to get one of the like beer fridges, the mini fridges.
Yeah,
but
why not?
From what I understood, they were. I'll tell you why not. They're apparently super loud.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So
fair.
it's like, why is there a fan always going? Well, I got to keep my Xbox mini fridge going, and it's got to, keep these waters cold.
Does it have one of those like glass fronts so people can see your G Fuel in your webcam?
No, because then it wouldn't look like an Xbox.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
The last thing this chair has, just so we cover all our bases, modular armrests to allow users to swap their McCrispy to different sides.
What does that even mean? Okay. Yeah.
Great. Wow. Thanks, McDonald's.
What is the difference between the McCrispy and like a normal sandwich? Let me look this up. Because I actually don't
it's got to be a chicken sandwich, right? Because no one's getting like a crispy.
It just almost sounds like something like the UK calls something, and we don't use that term, but it's super commonplace.
Like everyone's like, "Hey, we'll just get some fries and a crispy."
We're going to Macca's to get some McCrispies.
I think that's
like,
Australia. Anyways, I'm going to put the
Macca's
photo here. Look at that and tell me that's not just their normal chicken sandwich that you remember. Like, what the fuck is this? I think it's just the new name for it. It must be. This is a branding thing, I think.
Yeah.
The chair is just there to get this name out there, and it's working.
You can see on the chair that there is like a towel hanging from it.
Yes. Yep, that's the reusable napkin.
Which I guess you jizz into it. Like, I don't what.
Oh,
what
no.
is this for?
Yeah, you like your McCrispy that much.
Anyways, that's available somehow. I don't know.
Wait, yeah. How do I enter the contest?
Let's see. Prize giveaway tied to the launch of its new McCrispy sandwich in the United Kingdom.
God damn it.
See, I was right. Okay.
But then
Except
why is
the
it
Macca's
here?
thing.
It's here in Canada. I've seen it called the McCrispy. Is it just like because we're the Commonwealth?
Hey,
or
we're
something?
one of the colonies. Yeah.
Okay.
Remember when the Queen died and we all mourned for like a month? That was because
The
we're part of the
ergonomic,
UK.
plush-looking chair comes equipped with dual side trays, one perfectly form-fitted to hold a box of large golden McDonald's fries, and the other serving as a burger heat zone.
Man, I hate this. I hate this so much. McDonald's brings us no, what is this? There's something about the game. McDonald's permanently adds Game Changer McCrispy to its menu. Like, the PR around this is insane.
Like, if you had a McCrispy there, you would go to town, right?
No, because I've had the opportunity to buy one.
Okay.
What?
All right. I'm assuming it's chicken, right?
It's
Well,
literally
I'm sure
their
it's
chicken sandwich from before. There's no difference.
They're just sprucing it up with some cool new name they came up with.
I think so. Yes.
Like I'm sure if like by definition they can call it chicken, but it's probably as close to chicken as their regular hamburgers are actually close to beef.
Sure.
So it's like mostly oatmeal.
Oatmeal.
Well,
All right, let's do some questions.
yay.
People have questions, and we're the only ones that can help.
Yeah.
topdownperspective@gmail.com is the email address. At TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box are the only ways that you're going to get this quality of advice.
Yep.
Such as this first one, which is a quiz for us. So, you know.
Okay.
So get ready, get your hats on. I hope you know a lot about the Wii U.
I don't.
The Wii U will be 10 years old this November, specifically November 18th. That's a week from tomorrow in North America. Here's a quiz for the tablet that could have been more. Ready? Number 1, how many hardware units did the Wii U sell? This is impossible.
My guess is 10,000. Like, I'm just going to guess a round number.
That's way too low. Are you kidding me?
What?
10,000?
No. Oh, wait. Okay, I'm going to guess 13 million.
I'm going to guess 8 million.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. 10 million is what I meant. But, okay, sure. Yeah, no. It's been a long day. It's been a long day.
Between us, we have a significant percentage
Yeah.
of the Wii U.
Well, it's like 10,000. Like,
No.
It's super crazy how many copies Mario Kart 8 sold.
you guys are wondering how many
considering.
sold in like Calgary alone, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right, let's see the answers. Answer according to Nintendo's website, only 13.56 million.
Wow.
Wow, look at Nathan go. Okay,
Wow.
Yeah.
this next one, it's a multiple choice. Which systems are unplayable in the Nintendo Wii U Virtual Console eShop store? A, GameCube, B, Game Boy, C, both, D, neither.
Is it?
Which
Both?
systems are unplayable?
Oh.
Yeah, I almost want to
I think it's
think
both.
it's both.
You don't think
I don't
you can
know
play
if
either of them?
original. I don't know if original Game Boy is on there at
Yeah.
all.
I actually don't think Game Boy is on
I don't
there.
think it is.
Like I
'Cause I know
have
D- no
original Game Boy
DSs.
games on 3DS, but now that I'm thinking about it, it's like no, I wasn't playing that on the Wii U. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say both.
I think it's both.
I also think it's both because GameCube should be there, but it's one of those
I'm-
things that like Nintendo should have done, but if they're not
Right.
going to because they
didn't.
don't like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Answer is C, both.
Yay!
All right. Another multiple choice one. In one single full charge, how long can a Wii U Pro controller last? What is this question?
Oh, okay. How would
Nobody
you
knows the
even
answer
know
to
this?
Well, you
Okay.
you just have to. I don't know if it's documented somewhere, but I remember playing all of my time
You know what?
with Breath of the Wild on that thing in one charge.
It's 70.
Multiple choice. Let me give you the multiple choice.
Yeah.
60, 70, 100, 80. I
70.
don't know why you... Okay.
I'm gonna go 80 hours.
I'm going to say I use rechargeable controllers exclusively now. I play my Xbox a lot. I could not even tell you a remote close for that. Why would I know this? What did you guys say?
70.
I went with 80 hours.
70, 80? Okay, I'll do 100.
Okay.
Yeah.
This answer for some reason is really long.
Oh.
Answer's D, 80 hours according to websites like Amazon. Okay.
Okay.
Oh. Okay.
Who got 80? Nathan?
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, Nathan, you just know the Wii U.
I booted it up recently. Like, it
What was
like a
the
month
Wii
ago.
U's code name during development? Oh, I should know this one. Is that no? Which
It
one
was something
That was
dumb.
the N64 was Katana, right? GameCube. Revolution was Wii.
Revolution was Wii. Cafe.
Cafe.
Something like that.
Is the
yeah.
chat saying that, or you're going with cafe?
No,
Okay.
it's
hasn't
something
said it
like
yet.
that. It's something dumb like that.
I don't remember Cafe. That doesn't sound familiar to me.
It's something like that.
I can't think of one. Nathan, do you have a guess?
I'll just say dolphin, and I know it's wrong.
Project Cafe. Wow,
Yeah,
way to
Cafe.
go.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I was thinking coffee because of like mocha or something, which is a homebrew thing. But yeah, okay, cafe.
Coffee Talk 2, it's coming.
Yep.
It's coming to the Switch.
All right, and last one here. How many Mario games are in the top 10 for highest grossing Wii U games? Hint, do not count Smash Bros. In this quiz.
Sure, that's not a Mario game. That makes sense.
Okay.
Well, I'm thinking...
Okay, so what would they be? Mario Kart's in there, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it would have to be.
Yep.
I'm going to guess 4 of them?
3D World is in there. New Super Luigi... New Super Mario Bros. Is in there.
Yeah.
Is the Luigi one a separate release?
I don't know if that would have charted high enough.
Okay.
Personally.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a pack-in? So it probably would have.
And then I'm kind of hoping Mario Maker charted in that category.
Oh, Mario Maker.
I did. So what's the 5th game you're thinking of then?
I said 4. So.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Unless it's like, that Puzzle and Dragons featuring Mario came out on that thing and it was huge.
I don't think it did. That was 3DS.
Yeah.
The fact that this is a question,
Is there any Mario sports games on the Wii?
I'm just gonna say 5. I'm gonna guess 5. Half of them are Mario games.
Because I can't think of like that Mario Tennis game or
I can't either.
Lame stuff. Yeah.
It started coming out on the Switch. Yeah, I think they skipped the. And Wario Land that wouldn't be in the top 10.
Yeah.
Game and Wario. Okay, so we've named 4, but Paul, you're saying 5 because
I'm gonna guess it's one of these things.
There's just some blind spot one.
Like, guess how many Mario games there are because half of them are the. Yeah, I think it's.
I mean, watch the answer be all 10.
Yeah, totally.
I think 5's a pretty.
I was gonna guess like
answer.
8, but that's like kind of insane.
All right,
so.
Nathan, what's your guess?
4. I'm sticking with 4.
Okay.
6. Do not tell us what they are, though.
Hold on, let me get to Google.
I'm trying to think what else he's in that would matter. Like, I have most of the good ones.
Was there a no, there wasn't a Paper Mario. There wasn't a Mario RPG.
There was a Paper Mario, but would that have charted? It was like Color Splash or something.
Oh, you're right. No, people didn't like that one.
People did not like that one. I was reading about it because it's like, should I just buy this on the digital store before it's gone? Because it's not going to get cheaper. But it's like, nah, it's not great. So
you should play the Switch one. That one's pretty good.
Okay, I'll save my Paper Mario money for that.
Okay. This is taking
Dr. Luigi.
Okay, we got Mario Kart 8 on here.
Yeah.
Mario 3D World. Mario Bros. U.
Yeah.
Mario Maker.
Yeah, okay, those are the 4 we got.
Mario Party 10.
Oh, really?
And Luigi U. They're counting, I'm sure.
They actually counted that. That's weird.
That's a Mario game. That makes sense.
Well, his name's Luigi Mario.
I guess, but it's a Mario. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. The John Leguizamo pack.
I mean, I think it does count as a Mario game,
it totally does, yeah.
I'm kind of with Nathan. I'm surprised.
I just didn't think that mattered that much. I know there was the year Luigi, and it's like, come on, guys, right? Luigi, but it's like, come on.
You guys want to know the last 4 in the 10?
Let's see if we can guess them.
Okay, yeah, go.
Nathan and I can guess them. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Does Nintendo Land count because it was a pack-in?
Yes, it does because it's there. So there's one.
I don't know that Pikmin 3 would have charted with humanity. Did it? Pikmin 3?
No, it didn't.
All right.
Was there a Monster Hunter?
No.
Well, there was one, though. It didn't do gangbusters? That's crazy.
No.
Oh, is one of the... Is it a Xenoblade game?
Nope.
Oh, man.
Bayonetta 2?
Nope.
All right.
One of them is literally in the question that we just read. If you read reread the question real quick.
GameCube.
Oh, so Smash
Bros.
Yeah, Smash Bros.
All right.
I don't know how we missed
Did Breath of the Wild sell enough on that thing to matter?
It did not, but keep thinking Zelda.
That's a great game. Okay. So Skyward Sword.
No. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one.
Wind Waker HD?
Wind Waker HD, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And the last one, think newer IP for Nintendo. You'll get
Splatoon 1?
It's Splatoon, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Awesome.
Weird system, man.
There you go.
It really was.
Yeah.
It was like a prototype, but we got
Wait,
to
you're
have
telling me that Batman Arkham City Electric Edition, where he gets electric gauntlets, did not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
Like,
did
that
that
was a
not
launch
clean
title.
up?
That Call of Duty one isn't even there. I don't remember which one it was.
Call of Duty Ghosts. I played that. on
Was
that
it
thing.
That
Ghost?
version,
Yeah.
Tekken Tag Tournament 2, where you could wear a Mario outfit on one of the characters, didn't qualify?
That's pretty great.
That wasn't highest grossing? That's crazy.
That's pretty great. All right, Suku writes, what is your dream video game? I'm not talking about the game you want most. I mean the game you know only from your dreams.
I love this question because I have a lot of these. I could only dig so far to find a couple.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with a nice easy one. Russell Westbrook's Battle Basketball, where he's dunking on robots that have hoops on them to destroy them.
God, this is such a Nathan question.
Is
Holy
this like
shit.
is this like a Connect game?
Man, I would almost want it to have some manner of motion control. I'm going to say this would be great in VR.
VR
Where you're
game,
just
okay.
kind of dunking and hanging through the hoop, Vince Carter style, to wreck these robots. Then there was kind of a nightmare I had where there was a new Meat Boy game that was coming out, but it was a blockchain exclusive. It was tied to the blockchain, and you needed to have a TikTok account in order to play it.
Amazing.
So I was just like, oh, I'm not young enough to get this. Oh no. So I was really, really upset. And then there's one that's more conceptual. It's this game where you're a parent with a baby Bjorn on, and as you play, your baby is learning abilities from you. I'm assuming this is Death Stranding somehow, but you're teaching it with how you play and how you fight and stuff.
This
so
is
if you
someone
from enemies,
showed the trailer for Death Stranding to someone, and
and then went to sleep, and then had this idea. So yeah, the second half of the game you play as the baby. So how you play the first half determines its abilities. So if you're a coward in the first half, your baby's gonna be terrible at combat.
This game sounds like it's made by the Tokyo Jungle people, and also kind of amazing.
I try to write down dreams when I wake up, and a weird amount have video game elements to them. So yeah, these were a couple I scraped out. But thanks for asking, though, because I never get a chance to talk about it.
That's what we're here for. To piggyback off that, I don't dream.
Yeah, I don't remember mine either very often.
Okay.
Specifically, I don't think I've dreamt about games. I also just dream pretty rarely.
Yeah.
Good thing I have 3 answers.
Yep, no, one for each of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Nathan, would you like to read this one from Linebeck?
Yeah. Which do you believe is worse, an absolutely terrible game or really bad comedy?
Terrible game, because you have to play through it or play it.
It's gonna be longer than the comedy.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, there's a sort of appeal to cringy comedy, you know? I don't often want to see, like, real bad stand-up set, but that is a thing I could look at.
I will also, like...
Oh, this guy absolutely bombs. Look at it. And it's like, all right, yeah.
I will more often have people watch a movie with me in person than I will have people watch me play a game in person.
Sure.
Okay. And I guess, like, a bad movie, you can at least ridicule or something. If it's a comedy, you can try to get something out of it. But I don't know. I guess I like watching other people play bad video games so I don't have to play them. And then I'm kind of getting both, I guess.
Sure.
It's like comedy out of the suffering. Yeah. So yeah.
I think that like the deal breaker though is like one's probably an hour and a half and the other one is probably at least 6 hours long.
Totally. Yep.
Sure.
Last question from Dead. What's your go-to Christmas gift for others?
Gift card.
Okay.
I'm gonna say those like chocolate hedgehogs. Like, who doesn't love that, right? It's like a hazelnut chocolate hedgehog.
Okay, sure, yeah.
I mean, I love them.
Forever.
I know.
Yeah.
I know people that don't like hazelnuts, so probably them. But I mean, I love hazelnuts, so who cares?
So you just hand it to them, and you're like, "Oh, you didn't? I'll eat it for you."
Totally.
I got this triangle full of hot dog chocolate.
If you want, I'll eat the hazelnut, and you can have the rest.
Yeah, exactly.
It could be like a sharing kind of thing, you know, where we both got a little bit of a treat. A little treat for me, a little treat for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would go to one. For a while, I was getting people the card game Love Letter because it's like
Okay.
$12 and super easy and pretty fun. Another one that I'm a big fan of is a heating pad. Who doesn't want a heating pad? Heating pads are so useful and great.
That's actually a pretty great idea.
It's an amazing gift because they're like $30 and it's
Yeah.
like everyone has a good use for a heating pad.
Yeah. And like, I don't know, that's not something I would think to buy for myself, but if someone gave it to me, I'd be like, okay, yeah.
Well, as someone who has had a lot of sport injuries, I thought about buying it for myself. And then
Sure.
I have a lot of friends who have sports injuries. So when white elephants came along, I just kept getting heating pads. I was like, I know each one of you has like a bad wrist or elbow or something.
Sure, yeah.
That's a pretty good idea. There you go.
All right. That's gonna do it for questions. If people would like to send in questions, for the panel to give our wise advice.
Yep.
topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel for John's P.O. Box. What is your game of the week, and what is your game of Tuesday from last week?
Oh shit.
Oh man.
Oh,
Gotta check my calendar.
it's God of War.
I technically played God of War on Tuesday, so that's gonna be both.
Yeah, it's God of War for game of the week.
Yeah.
And then God of War for Tuesday.
Oh wow, okay.
Whoa.
Sonic can just eat it.
Sonic will have his time, I'm sure.
I'm trying to think when most of my VR stuff even happened, because it's Vampire Survivors for the week.
Okay.
But maybe I Expect You to Die for VR night. I
Nice.
guess that was a fun moment.
Nice. Okay, Nathan, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Do you want to plug a podcast episode or anything you got going on?
Sure. Over at OK Video, we're doing westerns. Totally timely thing, you know, with all the... No, I don't know. We just posted our Tombstone episode, the Kurt Russell film from 1993.
Okay.
And up next is The Wild Bunch from 1969. So we're jumping all over the place.
Wild
Next
Wild
week
West
we're
gonna
doing-
get in there?
Wild Wild West was already in our show for a different batch. So yeah, that was already foisted as like I think an action comedy of the 90s or something. My friend Ryan was like, "No, dude, this was one of the big action films." It's like,
what about that scene
all right.
from the first Lego movie?
Is there a Wild Wild West? There's a westerns themed.
Yeah, you know, Batman's there.
okay.
Gandalf is there.
It's true, Nathan does love the Lego movie, so...
I love the Lego movie. It's a great movie.
Didn't make our Western batch, so unfortunately, yeah.
Wow. Maybe next year.
But yeah, that's what we're doing now. So yeah.
Cool.
Okay, Video. It is a show that is out there for movies.
And with that, I'm gonna go to sleep. Thanks everyone for watching.
Bye.
See you next week.